Oh, yeah.
Good morning and welcome to Hashtag Rise and Grind. I am your host, Glenn Lundy. I am a husband to one,
A father to 7, and the creator of what is going to be the #1 most watched morning show in the world.
It is 5:30 a.m. and I hope that you are ready to rise and grind.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. What's up, everybody? Wow! I am super jacked up today. I am super over the top, way jacked up today. We got a lot of things going on that I want to share with you today. But first of all, I got to let you know that today is Tuesday. That's right. Today is Tuesday, February 12th, 2019. Can you believe it? Tuesday, February 12th, 2019. And what's crazy is today is the very first and the very last time that it'll ever be. First and last time that it'll ever be. Tuesday, February 12th, 2019. I'm sitting here in Lexington, Kentucky, where it is going to be a beautiful 57 degrees today, and I think it's supposed to rain all day. It's been raining. I feel like we're in biblical times. It's been raining so much recently, but it's going to be 57 degrees today, and I'm going to do something special with you guys today. You see, I was invited to do a speech. For those of you that don't know, that are watching live on YouTube right now, I was invited to do a speech in New York. I do some speaking. I travel around the United States and do different speaking on all kinds of different things. And so I was invited to go to New York and speak to like 300 people. And I decided that I was going to get a little edgy and a little uncomfortable. I was going to kind of push myself into some territory that I'd never been in before at this particular conference. And then I thought, well, you know what? I need to share what I spoke about there. I need to share with my Rise and Grind crew. So we've got 25,000 people in this Rise and Grind group on Facebook. And I thought, well, how fair is it for me to share for 300 people at Paragon Honda's awards, but not share with all of my Rise and Grinders, all of my peeps right here in the hashtag Rise and Grind. Now, my system's set up a little bit different here, so I'm trying to look and make sure, because normally I don't broadcast from here. I normally broadcast from my house in a little utility closet that we call the Rise and Grind studio. But this morning, I'm actually at Rise and Grind headquarters because our internet is completely out at the house. My poor wife, no Netflix for the kids, no Amazon for the kids, no Hulu for the kids, none of that. They got like regular basic DirecTV, and my kids don't like commercials, so it's going to be a rough day for her. But they're supposed to come out and fix it today. But on the bright side, I was able to get up at 3:30 this morning, get up a little bit early, come here to the studio where we have full bandwidth. We have awesome internet connection. And so not only can I go live here on Facebook, but it's an opportunity for me to go live on YouTube for the first time ever as well. So welcome our YouTube viewers to what we call hashtag Rise and Grind. This is a show that I do daily, Monday through Friday at 5:30 a.m. Eastern. We come on here live for motivation, inspiration, and education. Typically, we kind of go into some different stories, things like that. Today's going to be a little different because today I am going to share my actual speech that I delivered in New York City this past Thursday. So it's a little bit different for me. I'm a little bit uncomfortable with it, a little bit nervous and a little bit anxious, but that's okay. We've got a new audience and we've got a new format, and today's a new day and I'm in a new office and everything makes me a little uncomfortable, but I love being uncomfortable. I love it. So today's going to be a unique episode, and I think everyone is going to be able to enjoy it. At least I hope that you do. Now, for those of you that are watching on YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because I would love, we do videos every single day, so I would love for you to join us, join our Rise and Grind community, and get the notifications every time we pop up a video. That way you can get to know us a little bit better. You can also go to glennlundy.com, GLENNLUNDY. You can go to glennlundy.com and learn more about me and just who I am and my family and all the different things that I do. So we also have an app that's coming out soon, which I got to let you know. I just talked to the developers, and we're going to have to push that back about another week. So we were going to launch February 14th. Looks like it's going to be about another week on that, but I want to share that with everybody and also let you guys know that have never been in here or never watched a show before that our group, hashtag Rise and Grind, is not just a Facebook group. It is absolutely unlike any other group that you can possibly imagine. Not only do we do things online, but we actually take Rise and Grind offline. We do things where we serve our communities. We do things where we help out others. We lift others up. Sometimes it's financially. Sometimes it's with prayer. Sometimes it's just encouragement, moral support, positivity, so on and so forth. There's a lot of different things that we do. We do have conferences every once in a while. We've got one coming up April 4th and 5th, Hustle and Grind Con. You guys need to make sure that you are there for that. You don't want to miss that. Okay? But that's enough of all of that stuff. Welcome, YouTubers, my regulars, though you guys that have been here with me, the OGs. We're now stepping into a new era with hashtag Rise and Grind, and I'm super excited about it as we continue to expand and grow and reach out to as many people as humanly possible. So those of you that have been here before, you know what we got to do before we get into this speech, before we get everything going, before we even do anything. The first thing that we do first thing in the morning is we got to dance, baby. We have got to dance. Yeah, I'm feeling this right here this morning. This is perfect for us. So this is the part of the show where I need you to hit that share button. That's right. I need you to hit that share button, because I believe if we could change the way people start their day, we can make a massive impact on this planet. I truly believe that. I also believe see, you got distracted because I'm out of my comfort zone. This is also the part of the show where I want you to say good morning to me, and I'm going to say good morning to you. So whether you're watching live or you're watching on a replay, I want to hear from you. I go back throughout the day. So if you're watching on a replay, you pop in there. I do go back throughout the day, and I'll say what's up to you all the time. Good morning, Brittany Madolo. How are you? What's up, Whitney Wells? Tony Thornstead. How are you, sir? Janelle Griego. Susan Rose. Good morning. Joshua Wilson, what's up? Gail B. Craft and Vicki Everett. Sandra DeLolio's up in here, and Jarrett Ross. We've got Cindy Conley Ratkovic. Of course, we've got Liza Myers Borges and Mr. Scott Simons. We've got Aaron Jones up in the house. And of course, there's my man Josh. Whitney Wells is up in here. And Jeremy Noling is up in here. Vicki Everett and Trendy Trenda. I love it. There's so many people up in here. Let's rock and roll. What's up, Neil? Neil's up in here. Richard Pintrick's up in here. I love it. How do I see these previous comments? I'm in a different format, so I can't see any earlier comment. If you commented good morning before, go ahead and do it again so I can see you. Go ahead and do it again. I'm getting that. I just got a little bit of feedback in my headset. Make sure we're good there. All right, cool. Yeah, so, hey, will you guys do me a favor? I'm a little nervous if you can't tell. What's up, Chris Yancey? Good morning. Look at all these beautiful people. I love it. I love it. All right, cool. All right, so you've hit the share button, and I'm gonna take my pad, and I gotta put my pad over here because this speech is gonna be a little different. RC Hazard, man, I'm so glad to see you, dude. I hope you'll come by the office today, RC. That would be great. What's up, Don Sankey, Laura Berman? Okay, everybody's up in here. All right, good. All right, let's kill it. Let's kill the music. You guys ready? All right, I'm gonna. Okay. Whew. Okay. So if you don't normally hit the share button, will you hit it for me today? Will you hit it for me today? I would appreciate it because I'm gonna do something a little uncomfortable. So I would love it if you would help me out and just get as many people up here as possible. Because if I'm gonna blow it, I want to blow it in front of a lot of people. But also, if I blow up, I want to blow up in front of a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, check it out. This is the speech. Again, Paragon Honda had an awards ceremony. They did something absolutely incredible, man. They hit some super high-level numbers. President's Awards, just things that have never been done before. Number one in Acura in the world, number one in Honda. They just hit some massive numbers. So Brian Benstock put together this incredible award ceremony where he could recognize all of his employees, recognize everything that they did. He brought in Google, and Facebook, some execs from Google and Facebook and Tier 10, which is an incredible company. So he brought in all these different executives, brought them all together, and he invited me to come speak on the stage. And normally, Rise and Grind, Rise, Evolve, Impact, those kinds of things. But I thought, man, I have to come up with a revolutionary idea because I'm standing around like revolutionary people. And if I'm going to be in front of some revolutionary people with this opportunity, then I gotta come with something unique and something different. And so that's where this came from. I'm gonna deliver it now. I'm gonna give you a little theatrics because we're like on the internet world, so I can do that. In the real world, I didn't have like music behind it, but I got a little music behind it for you. It'll help set the tone. Are you ready? I'm ready. You guys ready? Okay, let's go. Good evening. My name is Glenn Lundy, and I am a husband to 1, a father to 7, and the former general manager of the 2nd largest used car franchise dealership in America. I'm also the host of the wildly popular Facebook Live show, #Rise and Grind. And tonight, I have the honor of being your host. It is an honor to stand before you today in one of the greatest cities in the world, in what I believe is the greatest country in the world. And you see, when Brian Benstock invited me to be here, a million things raced through my head. But there was one thing for me that continued to stand out. 41 years ago, I was born in the great state of Texas, right here in the United States of America. I was born into a culture that was 9 years removed from the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King. Jimmy Carter was the president, and Vietnam had just ended 2 years prior. It was an era of afros, bell bottoms, and free love that was quickly transitioning into things like the Breakfast Club, breakdancing battles. And there were legends that were developing like Madonna and Michael Jackson. It was an interesting era where America was transitioning in so many ways, and having an African American father and a Caucasian mother, my family was right in the middle of it. At times I think back to that awkward moment where my father, he must have went through this thing where he went to his sergeant in the army and asked him for his daughter's hand in marriage. Yeah, you heard that right. You see, my grandfather was my dad's sergeant in the early 70s. And my dad was this 6 foot tall, 240 pound black guy with deep, dark skin. And my mom, of course, was not. So I can only imagine the conundrum that put my grandfather in. He had grown up his whole life being told one thing about African Americans, and yet his experience with one was completely different. And thankfully, my grandfather lived in the greatest country in the world and had the power of choice. Otherwise, I might not exist today. Now, I grew up lower middle class, never broke, but never abundance. My parents divorced when I was 11, and my father remarried an African American woman. My mother remarried a Caucasian man. And the most interesting part is that my dad and his new wife, and my mom and her new husband, they ended up moving in 2 apartments apart from each other. My dad was in apartment 30, my mom with us in apartment 28. It was a truly unique situation, and all of the stereotypes that you could think of existed in between these 2 apartments. You see, my dad's new wife, she had 4 kids, and they had 2 more kids together. So at Dad's house, there were 8 of us in a 3-bedroom apartment. Music played constantly, everything from gospel to Motown and an occasional version of Rapper's Delight. My mom's house, on the other hand, was quiet, just the 4 of us, and usually you could find my mom floating around the house, singing country tunes. You could find my stepdad listening to his rock and roll. And you see, this unique upbringing created a bit of an identity crisis for me. I didn't really fit in with the African American kids because I was too light-skinned, and I couldn't quite pull off being Caucasian because clearly I am not. So at some point, I began to ask the question, who am I? And after many years of turmoil, I finally figured it out. Dude, I'm an American. Born and raised. I am an American. Now, fast forward to today, and I am an automotive professional with 20 years in the business and an extensive resume. I've been a top-performing salesperson, a record-breaking finance person, a dealership shifting sales manager, a growth expert general sales manager, and ultimately an industry-leading general manager. My crowning achievement was being able to grow a store 800% in 5 years, from 120 cars a month the day I walked in to selling 1,053 cars in 27 business days in March of 2018. I've had massive success, and it was all in a single point store located in Paris, Kentucky. Population 9,600. A store that was owned by a third-generation white guy that believed in me. And that success is what brings me to here where I am today on stage in front of you. What a country we live in, right? God bless America. I mean, what are the odds? According to mainstream media, I was supposed to be held back by the man, harassed daily by the police, ridiculed by society, limited in my career and my relationships. And believe me, at times in my life, I was. I went through a season believing there was only so far I could go, so high I could climb. I had failed at everything miserably and dropped into a deep depression. I had a victim mentality. And I refused to take responsibility for my actions. At one point, I dropped so low that I was homeless, sleeping on buses in San Diego, California, surrounded by wealth and sunshine and abundance. And I looked around at the people that I blamed for my situation, and ultimately, I decided to take my life. Now, luckily for me, I failed at that too. Now you see, I've been arrested, I've been invisible, I've been broken. And yet today I am here on a stage in the great city of New York, surrounded by some of the most brilliant minds in the country. God bless America. So when Brian asked me to be here, he mentioned a theme of innovation, forward thinking, moving the needle. He told me a story of Paragon Honda's growth, how they expanded while others contracted, how they innovated while others refused to change. A story very similar to many great success stories in the course of history here in this great country. And when he did, I began to think, like, what revolutionary idea can a guy like me bring to an event filled with some of the most incredible innovators in the world? And that's when it came to me. You see, as we look forward with our businesses, it's important that we look back as well. We have to see how far we've come. You see, as I stand here in 2019, I stand not only in the greatest country in the world, but I stand here free. Free to run my business how I want. Free to create what I want. Completely and utterly free. Free in a country that founded companies like Amazon from Seattle and Google and Apple, for that matter, from California. Companies like Facebook from Massachusetts, Walmart from Arkansas, and of course, the great company of Paragon Honda from right here in New York City. A country where a mixed kid from humble beginnings can claw his way to the top and onto this stage. God bless America. Now listen, I know people talk of a wall. We see stories of thousands of men and women and children being held out of this country. We see stories of harassment and injustice daily. We bully our leaders openly and relentlessly. We kneel when our flag is held high. It happens every single day. And I believe all of that is because we have forgotten where we've come from. Our vision has been clouded. Our versions of reality have been jaded and marred. You see, the story that should be told is the one where thousands of people are literally willing to die to be a part of this country. Stories should be told about the heroes that protect our very livelihood day in and day out. Police officers, firefighters, paramedics, and EMTs. The people that every single day risk their lives so that we can rest easy at night, go to work in the mornings, and send our kids to school. Now, I understand that there are some bad seeds in the mix. Just like an apple tree in the garden. If watered and fertilized properly, you're going to have a lot of good apples come harvest. But no matter what you do, there's always going to be a few bad ones. But to judge the whole tree by the results of a few apples, I believe that falls under the same terms as racism, where we judge the majority based on the minority. The same racism that we all claim to hate. You see, there should be more stories of individual triumphs over bullies. The David and Goliath stories that inspire and energize, not stories of men and women hating their leader, picking at him and belittling him as though he's not human, calling him names and threatening his life. It blows my mind that we get outraged when kids get bullied in school, yet we fully participate in bullying our leaders publicly as adults. Instead of stories of men on their knees during the national anthem and celebrities refusing to participate in the Super Bowl, what if we told stories of the men and women in history that fought and died for the last 350 years so that we would even have the ability to stand publicly for our nation's flag? You see, Brian talks about how right now, what's easy seems hard for those that don't know what hard really is. And when hard times come, when they actually come here, most are going to struggle, suffer, and collapse. People like the millionaire African American who believes this country is a hard place to live, forgetting that just 50 years ago, blacks and whites went to different schools. They drank from different water fountains. And 70 years prior to that, men, women, and children of color worked in fields for nothing, got beat with whips, hanged by nooses, and weren't even allowed to read or write. You see, many today do not know hard. They don't understand that though America's not perfect, it's one of the only places in the world where the place you were born and the circumstances you were born in do not determine where you will end up. It is a place where if you fight to expand while others contract, you can win. A place where we should all be proud of how far we've come as a nation. And we should look at our flag for what it is, a symbol of victory, triumph, and evolution for an entire nation of people whom together have not only survived, but thrived through multiple periods of time that have truly been hard. God bless America, man. My revolutionary idea is this. Let's get up off our knees and finish what our forefathers started. Let's create and innovate like never before. Let's band together as equals and chase down the American dream. Let's do what is hard now so that when hard times come, we will be ready. Let's rise above the hate and despair. Let's evolve our technologies, our businesses, and as humans, let's impact the lives of billions of people worldwide as one unified country where we stand side by side and we shout, God bless America. You see, you, the men and the women in this room, have a responsibility, not just to your legacy, but to your future. I'm sorry, not just to your legacies and not just to your future, but to those who came before you, to go out there and change the world. And then at that point, I introduced Eric Thomas. Oh my gosh. Well, man, the lighting in here all of a sudden, woof, I don't know if I got flushed because I just did that or what. So that was my speech and my hopefully revolutionary idea that is shared with the great leaders at Paragon Honda. I hope that you guys enjoyed it this morning. I know with me yelling into this mic, I hope the sound was okay on you guys' end. But if you did enjoy it, and if you thought that maybe there was some valid points in there or something like that, please feel free. Hit that share button, and we'll get it out there. But I just got to tell you guys, man, I just love you. I love that I can share these types of things with you. You guys make me better, right? You guys make me better. You make me get better with my technologies. You make me get better as far as innovative and creative. You make me do things that make me uncomfortable, as you guys can tell, because I'm kind of shifting around in my seat. You make me do things that are uncomfortable. But I just got to tell you that I absolutely love you, man. I do. You see, you are this child of God, uniquely made by the God of the universe to be the best version of yourself that you can possibly be. And you're doing that. You're making good decisions. You're watching #Rise and Grind. You're pushing positive stuff out into the world. I know a lot of you guys are doing like in your planners, and you're sending encouraging messages. And I just want to make sure that you know and understand that all of those seemingly little things that you do, they matter. They're the message that you send, the post that you put, all of those things, they have an impact. They have an impact on your friends, on your family members, on your coworkers, and they absolutely have an impact on me. And I, for one, I just absolutely love you for it. I do. If nobody's told you that yet today, I want to be the first. I absolutely stinking love you. So I want you to have an incredible day today. Thank you for sharing this time with me today. I really appreciate it. But having an amazing, over-the-top, absolutely incredible day today. And if you need more videos like this, you can go to GlennLundy.com. If you want some Rise and Grind gear, like this awesome shirt right here with the reflective eye, because I rise and I grind. So if you need some Rise and Grind gear, you can also go to GlennLundy.com. You can get that there. And, yeah. That's it. That's our show for today. Will you do me a favor and come back again tomorrow morning, 5:30 a.m.? We'll do it all over again on #Rise and Grind.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Stay woke.
Stay woke.
#Rise and Grind. #Rise and Grind.
What's up, Joanna Hamilton? Yay! Love it when you're in here.
Feeling so divine. Waking up the nation. #Rise and Grind. #Rise and Grind. Grind, 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 grind. #Rise and Grind. First thing on my mind. Early in the
Going back through you guys' comments. You guys rock.
motivation. Feeling so divine.
Of course, you got to stay on your knees to pray, Kagan.
#Rise and Grind. #Rise and Grind. Don't stop, get it, get it. #Rise and Grind. Don't stop, get it, get it. Waking up the nation. #Rise and Grind. Waking up the nation. #Rise and Grind. Good morning, all my people, for the sunrise. Stepped into my greatness, feeling powerful.